In the preceding installment of this series, we embarked on a journey through the lesser explored arrondissements of Paris, uncovering hidden treasures and unknown gems. In this second part, from the 15th to the 20th arrondissement, we continue our odyssey, delving deeper into the rich tapestry of Parisian history and landmarks. So, join me as I unveil the secrets of Paris beyond the beaten path, offering a fresh perspective on the city of lights' enduring charm and allure. Having covered the 10th to the 14th arrondissement, we now embark on the second leg of our exploration, beginning in the 15th arrondissement. Despite its somewhat unappealing appearance, standing alone in this southern arrondissement of Paris, the Montparnasse Tower is worth a visit for the fantastic view from its rooftop. While the panorama is undoubtedly breathtaking during the day, for me, the pinnacle experience is to visit at sunset and witness Paris gradually illuminate before your eyes. While €20 may initially seem quite pricey, it's truly worth every penny. Let's now soar above with Le Ballon de Paris. This tethered balloon provides a delightful 10-minute excursion above the rooftops of Paris, gliding over the Parc Citroën, located at the southwest corner of the 15th arrondissement. As you can see here, we are lower than the Montparnasse Tower's rooftop, but from here we gain a unique perspective over Paris. The balloon can accommodate up to 30 passengers and ascend up to 150 meters high. The balloon is tethered to the ground with a cable, which is controlled by a hydroelectric winch. The boarding price is €19 for adults and €14 for children up to 11 years old. You may not be aware, but the Île de la Cité and Île Saint-Louis are not the only two islands on the Seine River in Paris. L'Île aux Cygnes, located southwest of Paris, is considered to be part of the 15th arrondissement, although it actually separates the 15th and 16th arrondissement. It's a lovely spot for a leisurely stroll or for those looking to jog or exercise. But what truly makes it worth visiting is this: the Statue of Liberty. Well, not the one in New York, obviously, but this one was gifted to France by the USA in 1889 to commemorate the French Revolution. Taking a stroll from one end to the other of the Île aux Cygnes is really enjoyable and offers a glimpse of Paris that tourists often overlook. The high-rise buildings of the Beaugrenelle neighborhood, the headquarters of the French National Radio, and of course, at the opposite end of the island, although there is another statue to admire, most people flock here for the unique Instagram spot with the Eiffel Tower. We cross the river to the 16th arrondissement, where another beautiful vantage point on the Iron Lady awaits. We find ourselves at the Musée de l'Homme, Paris's anthropology museum. The entry price is €15. Unfortunately, as is all too common in Parisian museums, this security person will inform me that filming on the premises is prohibited. It is truly a shame, as it's a fascinating museum. Here, by blending biological, social, and cultural perspectives, the emphasis is placed on the evolution of humans and human societies. So let's keep it between us, but I may have bent the rules just a tad. Touchscreens, explanatory panels, 3D reconstructions, everything is designed for an educational approach that will appeal to both adults and children. In the same building as the Musée de l'Homme is the Musée de la Marine, the Maritime Museum. Recently renovated, it offers a reimagined visitor experience, from exploring masterpieces to immersing oneself in the sea and its challenges. Overall, it's a highly engaging museum, especially for children, and at just €11 when purchased online, it's a great value. Just a few hundred meters away lies the exquisite Musée Guimet, the French National Museum of Asian Arts. Maybe I'm biased because I love Asia, but to me, this is one of the most interesting museums in Paris. The ground floor is devoted to ancient arts from Cambodia, Thailand, and India. And I must admit, I'm in love with the Cambodian Khmer section. The Indian section is also very interesting. On the first floor, second floor for our American friends, beautiful pieces of art from China and Central Asia are displayed. Let's conclude with the second floor, which showcases wonders from Japan and Korea. Also in the 16th, the Marmottan-Monet Museum's fame is the result of a donation in 1966 by Michel Monet, Claude Monet's second son and only heir. Michel Monet left the museum his own collection of his father's work, thus creating the world's largest collection of Monet paintings. Besides Monet, the museum also contains works by all of the most famous Impressionists. In the permanent collection, apart from the Monet room that we will see later, the Berthe Morisot room is also a must-see. Berthe Morisot was married to Édouard Manet's brother, Eugène. Together they had one daughter, Julie, who was her mother's muse. Let's go down to the basement for the most important part of the museum, the permanent Claude Monet collection. This is the artist in his famous Giverny garden. Portraits of Claude Monet's two sons. Impression Soleil Levant. Claude Monet painted this in an early morning session during a stay in Le Havre in Normandy. Monet presented this painting at the first exhibition of the Anonymous Society of Painters, Sculptors and Engravers, which took place in April and May 1874 in Paris. The art critic Louis Leroy from Charivari, wanting to play a malicious pun on the title of this painting, entitled his article The Exhibition of the Impressionists, thus giving a name to this new artistic movement, Impressionism. One of the famous water lilies, Nymphea, of a very long series. Monet painted around 250 nymphaeas. No doubt you will have seen some of these when visiting a lot of art museums in the world. Here, in my opinion, is the most beautiful room in the museum, where you can find many large, magnificent paintings by Claude Monet. I could spend hours there. If you ever have the opportunity to go to Giverny, the visit of Claude Monet's garden is absolutely magnificent. The last time a painting by Claude Monet was sold by Sotheby's in 2019, its price was $111 million. So in this room alone is $1 billion worth of Monet paintings. Incredible, no? In the 17th arrondissement, we'll immerse ourselves in nature with two parks. To start our discovery, the Square des Batignolles is, in my opinion, the loveliest of Paris's small gardens, reminiscent of a miniature Parc Montsouris. With play areas for children, a serene lake inhabited by ducks and geese, and a meandering stream flowing through the lush surroundings, it's the perfect spot to unwind on one of the numerous benches. If you prefer larger, more contemporary parks, simply cross the street and you'll find yourself in the Parc Martin Luther King. Encompassing 25 acres, it is a component of the Clichy-Batignolles urban development project, which commenced in 2001, repurposing 130 acres of land formerly occupied by freight yards for the French railway company. In the park, recreation facilities include a skate park, tennis and basketball courts, and children's play area. Sustainable principles underpin the design of the park, and features include low maintenance plants, solar panels and wind turbines, reconstituted materials for walkways, and rainwater harvesting. The Cité des Sciences et de l'Industrie, City of Sciences and Industry, is not just any museum. Firstly, it is the largest science museum in Europe. Beyond its primary mission of disseminating scientific culture, the museum strives to engage all audiences, encouraging visitors to take on an active role and utilizing the latest technologies. Permanent exhibitions are organized into major themes such as mathematics, space, genetics. Let's first explore the section dedicated to the world of sounds. Visitors are encouraged to conduct engaging experiments, all with the aim of scientific discovery.
Bonjour et bienvenue.
Bonjour et bienvenue.
Our ear is very sensitive to any variation in the human voice.
Although the design of the various workshops may appear somewhat dated, the experiences themselves remain entirely relevant today. The museum offers such a wealth of discoveries, with so many scientific themes covered, that this video could easily extend for hours. And don't forget about the planetarium and the aquarium. Ah, and let's not forget about the iconic silver bowl outside, the Géode. It's a mirror-finished geodesic dome that holds an IMAX theater. Did I mention there's also a submarine to visit? Also located in the 19th arrondissement, not really the most touristy neighborhood in Paris, the Parc des Chaumont is magnificent. Opened in 1867, the park has 5.5 kilometers of roads and 2.2 kilometers of paths. What you see today is all man-made. Built on an old hill that was used as part as a refuse dump and part as a limestone quarry, it took 2 years to terrace the land. Then 200,000 cubic meters of topsoil was brought to the place. 1,000 workers remade the landscape, digging a lake and shaping the lawns and hillsides. Explosives were used to sculpt the buttes themselves and the former quarry into a picturesque mountain 50 meters high, with cliffs, an interior grotto, pinnacles and arches. And finally, hydraulic pumps were installed to lift the water from the canal of the Oak River up to the highest point on the promontory to create 2 waterfalls. The park was envisioned by Napoleon III as a garden showcase, a vision that continues to guide the park's direction. Many of the plants and trees found in the park were those originally planted when the park was created a century and a half ago. Even if I don't go very often in the 19th, the Parc des Chaumont is one of my preferred parks in the city. In the final arrondissement of our video, the 20th, there's a particularly unique place to visit, a cemetery. But this cemetery, the Père Lachaise cemetery, is exceptional. It's worth taking a stroll to discover graves of both very famous and rather peculiar individuals. It's not at all gloomy. In fact, the Paris City Hall considers the cemetery to be a park. The cemetery is expansive, covering a little more than 100 acres, making it the largest green space in Paris. Its cobbled paths wind along nearly 70,000 graves, and it's estimated that there are over 1 million people buried here, or whose ashes rest in the columbarium. Certain graves are impeccably maintained, while others are in a significant state of deterioration. Some of the famous people buried here include Frédéric Chopin, Rossini, Jim Morrison, Molière and La Fontaine sharing the same enclosure, Marcel Proust, Oscar Wilde, And let's not forget Edith Piaf, whose grave is always adorned with beautiful flowers. There are also graves that stand out as genuine works of art. This concludes my 2 videos about the hidden treasures and lesser known gems scattered throughout the less visited arrondissements of Paris. If you enjoyed them, please let me know in the comments which of the places I showcased you'd like to visit.